part of the video on the final project in analysis and design of a tall building. After watching all the videos in this module, you will learn to do the complete modeling, analysis, and design of a tall building project. In this part, you will learn to do the initial settings, and define the materials of the building. This is a 23-story building that you will be designing. The lateral section of the building is different, for different sets of stories. Not only this, the live loads are also different, for each of these sets of floors. For stories 1 to 8, the live load is 5 kN per meter square. For stories 9 to 14, it is 4.5 kN per meter square. The live load decreases to 4 kN per meter square, for stories 15 to 19, and is 3.5 kN per meter square, for the last set of stories that is 20 to 23. These properties can be applied by the concept of similar stories, which you will learn in this module. Also, 3 sections of beams and columns are listed, each of which are having M40 concrete, and HYSD 500 and mild 250 rebar, for longitudinal and tie bars respectively. You will be using the Auto Select option for the beams and columns, which means you will list all the 3 sections, and ask the software to select the best section for you. The slabs are of 150 mm, and having M40 concrete grade. You will use Auto Draw claddings, that is walls without self-weight, so a cladding load of 0.2 kN per meter, is to be applied. For the wind load, you will consider the parameters for a building, to be constructed in Bangalore City. Open the ETABS software. Select New Model from the File menu, and select the usual options as displayed. Then click on OK. In the Uniform Grid Spacing option, set the number of grid lines as 4, in both X and Y directions, and set the spacing values to 6 meters each, in X and Y direction. Then in the Simple Story Date option, set the number of stories to 23, and both the typical and bottom story height to 3 meters. Now, similar stories, so select Custom Story Data, and click on Edit Story Data. You can see that Story 23 is set as a master story, and all the other stories are set as similar to Story 23. So this means all the stories are similar now, and you will create different master stories, to divide the stories into smaller sets of similar stories. Story 1 to Story 8 are similar, so go to any one of those stories, and in the Master Story option, select Yes. Then set the other stories as similar to the new master story. Please note, here Story 8 is set as master story, but you can select any other story, from 1 to 8 for that, and set the remaining stories as similar to that master story. Now, for the next set of Story 9 to 14, select Story 14 as master story, and set stories 9 to 13 as similar to Story 14. Again, for the third set of similar stories 15 to 19, select Story 19 as a master story, and stories 15 to 18 as similar to Story 19. The remaining stories from 20 to 22 are already similar to Story 23, so the fourth set is defined by default. So now, you have created 4 different sets of similar stories, and you can assign properties to only one set, using the Similar Stories option, while modeling. Click on OK to exit. Select the Grid Only option, and click on OK. The 3D view to draw elements on it. Go to Define, and select Material Properties. Click on Add New Materials. Select Region as India. Material Type as Concrete. Standard as Indian. And the concrete grade as M40. Click on OK. Again click on Add New Material. And this time change the material type to rebar. And grade as HYSD 500. Click on OK. Then click on OK again. Similarly, Add one more rebar material, of grade mild 250. The three required materials, M40, HYSD 500, and mild 250 has been defined. Click on OK, to exit the Define Materials dialog box. In the next part, you will learn to define the structural elements of the building. Thanks for watching.